Guys, we are back after Pittsburgh VGC Regional Champions. I'm back home in New Jersey, and I'm not by myself today. I am joined by not one, not two, but three players who have all made day two in the first regional championships. Guys, what are we talking about right now? I am joined by Richard Land, Ofemezi Email, and Blake Mullins. 3 stars. Richie went 0-2, into 6 in a row, made day two. Ofemezi started off 8-0, made it on stream, won on stream, didn't beat just anybody on stream either, and literally finished in the top 10. And then Blake, who has been in this community supporting it for so long, an artistic master from Indianapolis, also made day two and also played someone else in this call right now. Guys, there's a lot to talk about. I'm super excited. How are you guys feeling right now, man?
I'm hyped, dude. This was such a fun weekend, and I can't wait to talk about it and share my thoughts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing weekend with like the boys, and then playing Pokemon. Cannot complain too much. Always fun to play with the boys and then hang out like afterwards and stuff. And now we're back for the next regional.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Just another weekend in the office,
Yeah, it was a business trip, as some of you say.
Yep.
Yeah. I came back with a check, so
Yep. You can write it off. It's all good.
Yeah. You write it off, sell those booster boxes, whatever you guys want to do. But seriously, it was such a good time. Again, regionals are a place to put all the practice, all the hard work, and put your passion and enjoyment for the game into the test with friends. You can meet new people, see familiar faces, and it was a great time. But first, I kind of want to talk about your guys' runs before we go into the meta, because the point of this video, the point of this live stream is to show all of you that, one, you can ask questions live if you're here. We will answer those questions for you. But two, is to show you what happened, talk about individual player stories, and what can we expect things to change and players to look out for. Because all of you have played so many rounds of Pokemon in not 1, but 2 days. Some of you in top cut. There's a lot to talk about. So, first, Mezzy, I'm looking at you, man. I'm seeing you top 10. You finished in the top 10. Tell me about your run. How are you feeling? Where are we right now, man? What's going on?
So, my run at Pittsburgh was, one of the best, objectively. So going into Reg H 2.0, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to run something that I think is fun, and I'll just make sure that it's doing it with like 6 mons that are not bad. If I pick 6 mons that are pretty good and it's a concept that I like, then I should be able to do whatever I want. Like, who cares about like what a meta is in Reg H? Like, there's so many good mons to pick from. So I'm just gonna pick whatever I want. Like, I like hyper offense balance kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna make sure that I go first and I hit hard. And that's how I kind of landed on this concept of fantasy core fire, water, grass. It's like respect the type chart, hit hard, go first. And what can go wrong, right? I should be able to put myself up against anything and do fine. And in day one, I proved just that.
Day one, you proved you went 8-0. You beat the eventual regional champion. You were his only
loss.
And you beat him on camera, too.
And it was not close. It was not close.
Yeah. So tell me, I know we're going to go to everyone and go into the meta, but tell me more about what you think made your team special in a short amount of time. And then also just telling me about what it is like to go and have a run like this, to where you started off great, then you had a bit of a scare in day two, but you bounced back and made it into top cut. Tell me more about that.
So the day one run just felt good, after good. And as you can see, the majority of my day one players made day two. Or at least half of them made day two. So it's not like I was playing against good people all day, and I was playing well all day. And I kind of gravitate towards these hyper offense type balance teams. And I really feel like that's the type of archetype that just lets me force my game upon anyone. And it doesn't matter how good they are at the game. If I force them to respect the rules of the game, that's how I internalize.
You make them play under your circumstances.
Exactly. I understand Pokemon to the degree where it's this is super effective against this resists this is super effective against this. So if I present a scenario in front of you where there is damage that almost pins you,
Yeah.
Like I'm much better at maneuvering around those pressure situations than my opponent is.
Yeah.
So I just keep throwing those situations at people and kind of forcing those like really tense turns.
And dude,
like,
I mean, clearly it went well. And dude, also we have some love for you in the chat right now. We got High Drop saying shout out to Ofa Mezzi. Clean play, well done.
Thank you.
Our first donation, Mirage. You're the goat. Bro. That's goat shit. He said,
Thank you.
Also, I knew Becca's boyfriend was the goat. LOL. Shout out to you, Mirage. Thank you for the love, man. And again,
and
dude,
shout out to Becca. You know, she's like my #1 support going through these tournaments. You know, it's always that's another power up in these tournaments. You know, like having that rock that you could go back to and just be like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0.
The girlfriend buff.
Yeah, the girlfriend buff is strong. Like,
and we can even go into that, like Mezzi. So going into this round 6, you played Blake. Blake, talk to me, bro. How are you doing, man?
Oh, dude, I feel great. This is my second ever day too, so kind of making a breakout performance on this one.
Dude, come on.
Yes, it feels pretty good.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude, 9-3. Didn't expect it at all, to be honest. I was on a totally different team last week and kind of just decided, got to make the meta call. Time to play some meta stuff that's a little less hyper offensive.
I've seen a mixture of this. Like I've seen bits and parts of this team across like multiple different teams. Like my mind goes to the Sneasel Rillaboom that we saw win Europe. We have the Shohei, Mousehold, Goldango, Annihilate thing. Then we also had the Blood Moon Yawn from the. You took 2 really good teams and went.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Frankenstein monster, but it's a beautiful monster indeed.
I mean, clearly.
Yep. Our good friend Waleed Helmi helped me out last like Sunday, and he's like, "What if you just combine it all into one place? What if you just put it all together and really just think about it?" And from there, it was just a matter of staying up late, doing a little bit of calcing, tweaking things out to see where these pieces can fit together, not just in their little cores or their duos, but to form new duos and trios that are all about control, all about offense,
unlocking new chemistry.
Unlocking new chemistry while looking like the same combination.
You're speaking my language, Blake. And the funny thing is, as soon as we sat down, right after our set, I told Blake, "Yo, I'm gonna be real with you. I might be labbing with your team, bro. Like that. Like this is the sauce. This is some sauce I'm seeing.
So saucy. It feels really, really good to pilot. It feels really, really good to watch work. And there really weren't many sets that I felt completely out of control at all at any point. Very clean.
Like you had a really good schedule here. I mean, you also played what? You played 3 players today too. A lot also did. No one had a losing record that you played against. No free wins here. You played Mezzi, who went 8-0. You played the former regional champion Stefan Mott. And then you went into day 2. And I'm noticing you only lost to an Electrode, which is interesting. However, you beat a really good player in Kyle Livinghouse. You had a great, dude, like your tournament went insanely well.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't be more proud of the tournament run. It's great. This is the second time I've gotten knocked out of something from a self-procmon that has no business being around. It was Greninja at one point. Chase Mateo took me down with it one time. So to see the Electrode and a team that's that fast that even Sneasler can't keep up under Tailwind. Yeah. That's fine. I'll take it.
But dude, hey, bro, 9-3, top 32. Like that is no joke, man. People have to understand, like many people who watch this channel, like so many people have goals of making day 2, right? Like it is not easy. And when you play this many quality players against this many unique teams, like I'm watching you. You also play Goldango 1 million times, which is interesting. I'm noticing that. Like,
dude,
oh my god,
1 billion times. The Goldango mirrors were so fun. The mind games were real. Like more often than not, it was Dango v Dango, and I'm glad mine came out on top.
I mean, hey, I'm looking at it right now. I'm sure it went first. They're all max speed, bro. And
maybe.
But who knows?
Even you, like I'm looking at and be really quick, Blake. I want to go to also Richie as well, because Richie, your story is super inspirational because so many players go to tournaments and they have a hard time. So many go to tournaments and they lose round 1 and they're down. They lose round 2 and they're like, why did I even come here? My back's against the wall. They feel like it's impossible. But not only did you go through that mental hell, but you won 6 sets in a row, my guy. Tell me about the run. I can't imagine having to do that. Just talk to me, bro. 0-2 to day 2, that's insane.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. But so when I came into I went to like Pittsburgh feeling pretty confident because I was using like a team I used like in Toronto, and I ended up 5-3. And because like I also faced like a lot of big name players in my day one, I faced Zachary Reed and back in Toronto last year, and faced like Nick Navarri. And then like in my winning, I kind of just like choke and then lost. And I was like, I really like this team, so I'm gonna give it to a go. So I feel really confident going to like Pittsburgh. But and then when I saw my round one opponent, I was like,
I love that all three of you have such different teams.
Yeah.
Like, and it's great how you guys all perform. Like I'm seeing Pop Bomb Mouse.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Setup Sneasler, and I'm seeing freaking Excadrill, bro.
Yeah.
Keep going, bro. This is amazing. Keep going, Richie.
Yeah. So my round one has Mentabus. So I was like, okay, that's not something I prep into. And then I was like, all right, let me try to like do something. And
not only he had Mandibuzz, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, he had Abominable Dusclops Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not really afraid of like Obama Snow because Mega Rank just but I'm like kind of afraid of like Dusclops and Mandibuzz, and especially like Mandibuzz because I was like, what does this Pokemon do? So I just clicked Rock Slide and it didn't even do like 30%. And I was like, okay, that's going to be a little troublesome. And I don't want to hit them with like physical attack because he had Rocky Helmet. So yeah, so I started with like 01 and then I played into Tyson, who's also pretty well known in the community.
Good player.
Yeah, really good player. And that's not someone I want to face in like round 2 after down 01. And then me and him play a really close set, and then he beat me in like game 3 as well. So I started with like
the bounce back is something that you have to talk about because this is insane, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after 02, and then I went to my friend. I was like, I thought it was 02, and then people was like, oh, you're still in the game. Like I was like, yeah, sure, I'm still in the game. I'm totally going to things.
Everyone in the back of my mind is like, okay, I know you have to say that to me.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna be like, well, you might as well just register for side event at this point. But like, so I was like, all right, I'll just keep playing, and then I play like a lot of close set. After like round 5-2, I think 5-2, like my round 5 to 7, it was like a sweaty battles for sure. It was down to like last like game 3, and then a lot of mind game.
Yeah.
And then like when I started going like 3-2 and 4-2, I ran into like Justin Tang and then Joe Ugarte, and I was like, oh, I'm there. And then they were like, oh, you're still in the game. I was like, yeah, whatever. But like, so after
you were all right.
But after I finished my the game 7, I faced Eric, and he was, I think he's ranked like top like 80 or 90 in North America last year. So he was like a really good player. He's like a really good player, and I was really close that. And then after that, after I went 5-2, I was like, wait, I'm like 1 win away from like day 2. What's going on? And then when I saw, and then I was like, I'm just and then in the past, let me tell you, I've choked so many times in my winning ink. I think I'm like 1 for 5.
It is the last mountain to climb in so many people's eyes. Like you get there and then you look up and it's a whole other beast, and that's what you have to go through again, bro.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm 1 for 6 or something. I win in. Let's see what I got for this time.
And you won.
And then I saw the matchup. I was like, oh, dude, this is like a 90-10 matchup for me. It's like I was like, all right, once Galay is out, T-Tar was the entire thing. Like there's nothing that's touching T-Tar besides Galay. So my game, like my priority, just like remove basically Galay out, GG. That's it. I was able to do that.
Good play.
And it worked. I'm like, that's why I wanted, like, congrats, bro. All three of you again. Congrats to all three of you for the amazing performance. And I thought of like no better group of players to sit and analyze this meta with me because there's so much to talk about. As many of you know, are you guys going to Milwaukee or no?
Not me. Birthday weekend, so.
Oh, well, that's going to be a fun time for you either way, but I get to go. I'm going to have a blast. So
okay, Blake, so you're going. Okay, so I think you and a lot of other players. I saw more players. I saw Lorsey said he's going to go. He's signed up today. A lot of people on Twitter are all going. A lot of, again, I think there's over like 500 signups. And also people in Europe, South America, the whole world was watching Pittsburgh this weekend because this was the Pokemon tournament in the world. This was the number 1 tournament. So, guys, we have to talk about all the things that we saw. It is, we can't take up 2-3 hours. I could talk about it all day. However, here's what I want to bite into: things that did well, things that didn't do well, trends we're noticing. And the first thing we have to talk about is Chupa Cross winning the regional championship. He only had one loss, as we said, in the tournament. He's sitting on this call right now. So, Mezzy, and all three of you, I love all three of you to input, but what did you notice about his team, his run? He won the regional championship. So how does that make you? What are your takeaways, guys? Because to me, I'm looking at this team, and it's like you, as you were saying, it's a lot of power. It has balance, not as hyper offensive, but has a lot of tools that are really powerful and aggressive, like the Blood Moon, the Goldango, and the Basque. And I'm just curious what you guys think, Mezzy especially.
I'll start because 5 out of 6 of these mons are the same as mine.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So it kind of does seem like it's a different take on like sort of what I was also trying to do, where it's like make sure every piece does a lot of damage. But it also, in his case, he centers it around Mousehold being a more of a supportive piece, which is something that I also considered is, does Mousehold need to be pop bomb or can it be friend guard and just have like a bunch of big damage dealers sitting next to it? But in reality, what's like important about a concept like this is that Mousehold holds the ghost types together, because the other ghost types can't really hit your ghost types until they deal with Mousehold. So it's a similar concept where you have something that is a normal type that is so annoyingly oppressive that they have to
Mousehold is a demon, bro.
They feel like they can't, like they have to use like fighting type moves, and Mousehold will protect next to the ghost type, and then like stuff like that, where it's like you kind of can play mind games with people, and you have the Incineroar for support as well. Dragonite is the most versatile mon in the format. You can run him in any number of ways. I had Prankster Tailwind on my team, so I didn't need my Dragonite to be Tailwind. But Chupa, it's very important to have like that fast mode with the Tailwind, with a balance, with any type of balance. You want to have like some kind of fast mode. He doesn't really need to worry about a slow mode because he has the friend guard Mousehold, and he can really sit in front of a lot of slow. He really has the ability to like wait slow mode things out. But sometimes you don't want to let stuff go first, as you saw in like my set with him, where it's like he really needed speed control, but I never let him get it. And with something like that, where it's like he's running a team where he wants to be the first person to do offense, and I'm running a team where I just never let him get that. I eventually, a lot of
Mousehold Goldango teams struggle versus that Prankster Tailwind. It's a really common thing I've noticed.
Because it's like Mousehold is great as friend guard, but if I KO the mouse in one turn, then now we're just scrapping. And if I'm going first and scrapping, I'm gonna win. Like,
so what made you think that? Like, again, obviously he lost to you, and I'm curious what you guys think, Blake, and what you guys watched some of these final rounds. Is like, what made his team so dominant versus everybody else?
Frankly, I think Mouse is the current best supportive mon in the format. You can clearly tell by looking at his team and the Terra types especially that he is ready to take on those slower matchups. He's ready to take on a lot of the faster ones as well. Maybe not all the way fast like Mezzy's team, but those defensive synergies go crazy. This is the newest version of Doug to win a tournament. It's got what it needs to be able to take on all the common weather archetypes without incorporating its own weather.
Yeah,
it just is a complete package of a team. So with a good pilot behind it, you don't really have to have every single tool, but you can add enough pressure to the opponent to where, what are they going to do? They're going to have to outthink you. They're going to have to outplay you. So.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, he literally went top 8 in Toronto, came back and then won top 4 in Toronto, came back and then won this. So he's clearly comfortable in the format. And I'm looking at his record. I mean, like, again, he also had a really crazy schedule. Started off really well. Only lost to you, Mezzy, his entire tournament. And I'm looking at it. He beat every team in day 2 had weather. He beat them. Day 1, he beat a lot of top players. And looking at Ben Grisma round 1. He beat, Satnam. He beat Destin, Gertie. He beat a couple of good players here in day 1. But day 2, he had to play. He had a bye week, which is huge, as the number 1 seed. Beat Lorsi. Again, a lot of crazy teams. But a team like this shows you that it has ways to handle everything. Like Mezzy was saying, if everything can do damage, you're always going to be in a decent spot. He has fake out, redirection, speed control, priority. Like there's a little bit of everything here. And as you were saying, you put it in a good player's hands. Like, I mean, I'm looking at this personally, and like, I think Sash makes Basque Legion so much more harder than any other item. because
I
it is
agree.
that thing just waits until the end, and then it's like, oh my god, how do I deal with this
You
thing?
have to expend 2 resources.
It's ridiculous. It's something that I saw it. I saw Marcus Dion do very well with it. I think at Monterey, a similar version of it at least. And he took it here and made it even better. So yeah, I mean the team is nasty.
I had to deal with the Sash Bask in my set against Kyle Livinghouse in day 2, and oh my god, dealing with the end game there, I really had to make sure I was ahead because I knew it was going to be in the back.
Yeah,
and dealing with that Sash, had to have 2 Pokemon to his 1, or it was not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
I think Basque Legion is also like the other Pokemon, because I know we were talking about like versatile, and then we talk about like Mousehold, and then I think like Mousehold before, like people were just like, all right, you pair Mousehold with Ape, so it become like the Mouse Ape team.
Yeah,
but like Mouse now has like so much like versatile. Like you pair next to like Goldango, you see Choppa like on stream, like 5 out of 6. Like he lead like Mouse Goldango, and then you can do like Mouse like Blood Moon and stuff. And the other thing I think it started changing is the Basque Legion, where like everybody like before, like in the earlier meta, people say, oh, like Basque Legion in rain, you put a choice band, you put like a life orb, and then after that it's like, all right, we start seeing like Scarf adaptability in like a balanced team that does like the same purpose.
Yeah, Rushel got the top 8.
Yeah, Rushel. I face him in like day 2, and I practiced with him like the most prior going to like Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
I think like in practice side, I think I beat him more, but in real life event, he cooked. It was not even like he was not even close. He played like a different animal. I'm like, are you like hiding? Like after that, I was like, are you hiding like when we were playing with something like that? Will you play like a different animal and stuff? But yeah,
and Ricky, and it's so true because what you're saying. I mean, like guys, even on the thumbnail, people will see it, but Basque Legion had 3 out of the top 4 spots. This thing was a demon, right? Meza used it here, Rushel used it here. I'm looking at this top 16. Almost half of top 16 has Basque Legion on it. And the thing is, they're all different sets. So I think, as you guys are saying, Basque Legion definitely stands out to me. And I think, again, it's that Mousehold, again, where we're seeing it only 1 in top 8, but I mean, it won the whole thing. So I'm looking down again. There's so many more teams that we can kind of look into. This team has to be talked about because what the hell is this? I saw this and I was shocked. Nothing here is traditional. Nothing.
No, wait. You mean Heatproof Sinistra isn't normal? What are you talking about?
Dude, Sinistra with Mental Herb, Calm Mind. I'm looking at King Gambit with no Protect, with setup 3. I'm looking at Cloak Volcarona. What? Terra Psychic Hariyama. I honestly, if I saw this round 1, I would look at this as, okay, I got this. Is McFree. That's not be real. I'm gonna be honest.
Little do you know.
Little did I know. Would go to finals. What do you guys think about when you see a team like this? What?
I mean, as someone that lost to Matt in my round for top 8.
No way. That was your last. That was
That was my last loss.
Wow.
I lost to him to get into top 8 in the game.
You're playing against everyone. You had the gauntlet.
Dude, my losses were 2nd, 8th, and 9th. I did. I'm very proud of my run because every single set that I lost was game 3 nail biter, and I mean, Justin already tweeted about this, but my loss to him was to a double freeze. So it was like so funny because like the turn prior, I had like read that his Goldango wouldn't Terra and that he wouldn't like that he would click Nasty Plot, and he did, and I just shadow balled it in front of like I don't remember what it was, but I had my Mousehold out. And he had his Goldango out, and my mouse obviously can't hit his Goldango. And I was like, he's not going to Terra because my mouse has population bomb, but he just wanted to hit it. So I just shadow balled the Goldango. He starts shaking his head, and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to Terra. He flicked Nasty Plot, and I just shadow balled it. And then the next turn he throws out Ninetales, and I'm like, dude, I won. He has like Rillaboom in the back and Ninetales, and I have Whimsicott waiting. Michael Dangle at full health. So I just click follow me, make a raid, and he clicks Blizzard, and then I see the first freeze, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't matter because like the mouse getting frozen doesn't matter here. And then I saw the Goldango get frozen, and I was like, I took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, I still haven't lost because if they both thaw out now, I still win.
Like, you're a positive guy, man. You're more positive.
That was literally what I was thinking at the time. I was like, all right, I haven't lost yet, but unfortunately, they never thought out. So that was how that loss happened.
I got double frozen in 2 back-to-back sets in my day 2, and I made it out. It happened against P2, or no, it wasn't in day 2. It was in day 1. The last match against Justin and the one prior against Sky, I got double frozen. And
this is a freezing meta. This is a
made it out.
We're seeing it all the time, and even on this team, again, this team, I don't understand it. I don't. And so, tell me.
So like I do understand what it's so funny because we've seen Matt Tid on stream, and every time he's brought Arch, he's lost. Like every time I've seen him on stream this tournament, that he brought Arch, every game he's brought Arch, he lost. This is a hard trick room team that for some reason has an Archeladon on it. Like that's kind of how I see it. Because again, I see that Arch and I'm like, dude, that Arch didn't do anything in the games that he brought in.
Out of place
but anytime he starts Sinistra next to Hariyama or Sinistra next to Volcarona, then it's like, all right, we're talking now. Like this game is starting to make sense.
Primarina always did work when I was watching it on stream. Damage when I was watching was like, oh my god.
I was very much surprised at how much damage Primarina was doing, because at a certain point I knocked off its choice specs and I was like, okay, I should be good now. And then my mouse hold still takes 80% from Moonblast. And I was like, I have nothing. Like so it's really impressive in a meta where there's no good fairy types. Like this is kind of Primarina's chance to shine.
And we saw Sylveon win a regional. I mean, we saw Sylveon really win one.
Exactly. So like this is kind of these are the meta sneaks that you can get, are those like really strong fairy types that no one is accounting for. And like a team that is really centered around enabling them to do their best. And again, this Sinistra next to like a Covert Cloak Volcarona, there's really not much that you can do about stopping Trick Room from coming up. You have to have a team that's really able to work around Trick Room and kind of like play in Trick Room, which is why we were able to see Chuppa like kind of succeed in where I was not able to, was because his team can kind of just sit there and be like, okay, well, if we're just going to trade hits, I got my friend guard mouse hold here, so like let's scrap.
Yeah, that Covert Cloak Volk, I know a lot of people struggled into that, like going into the online tournaments before this, but this adaptation with the Terra Steel on top of that and the Sinistra, you could just set up Trick Room, you can get rid of the Sinistra, you can pull it off of the field, and when it comes back, healing the partners. The momentum is constantly going with a team like this.
Well, it's not healing the partners because it's heat proof, but it is healing itself with strike sap over and over and over and over. It is not getting removed.
This is one of those
is not being removed from the field.
It's one of those love of the game teams where you look at it and you keep looking at it and it keeps getting more and more exciting. Like he's been in the builder on this for a while.
Or daunting if you have to play against him.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and and it's Sinistra, again, let's talk about Basket Legion being 3 out of the top 4 teams. Look at Sinistra, man.
3 out of 4.
3 out of the top 4 Sinistra. Like, guys, where on this do you see a Mungus on the screen? I don't see one.
I don't even know how far down you have to go to find a Mungus.
The highest placing of Mungus was 13th place. There was 2 in top 16. Whereas over here, I'm seeing more Mousehold and more Sinistra. So one of those meta trends, if you guys are watching this right now, if you're building a team, I mean, I'm saying, we got to look at Mousehold. We got to look at all these other redirectors, because Amoonguss also gets countered for so much by everyone. There's so much respect for Amoonguss. That's why we see safety goggles, Goldango, Taunt, all of these different, all these different things. Whereas I'm looking right now and I'm seeing Mousehold and Sinistra everywhere. These are 2 trends that I honestly am like, seeing here that I'm like, wow, this is not what I'm looking at. I look in the chat. Someone see Wolf Mikes goes, I feel like Sun's gonna make a comeback. Well, Sun's gotta be like, I put Sun in the thumbnail too. I put Torkoal on the down because I don't see Sun anywhere.
Yeah, nowhere near, I think. I mean, Rajan did make it to top 16 with like the regular.
He had a 9-tail.
Nine-tails. Look at that.
I think that's pretty fire.
That charcoal sauce, man.
Yeah, Nasty Plot too.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Do you guys know the calc?
That's a Goldango in disguise.
Wave in
I know the disappointing calcs. I know the ones that make me sad.
I don't think I want to know those.
This is crazy. He made a bootleg Goldango, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's Goldango in disguise.
And I don't really know how this team deals with rain that well. It looks like, again, but hey, You have the Ursula Blood Moon, I guess, is like your Rainbreaker with the arch and things like that, and Rillaboom, I guess, for the Basque Legion. But Ninetales is badass. Like that is pretty bad. But again, guys, look, another Mousehold. Like we're seeing these redirectors everywhere. I'm looking at the rest of this top 8 again, right? I see 2 more rain teams. I see a lot of hail, but there's an interesting. These balance teams look like they maxed out in this like 5 to 8 spot. What do you guys take on the rest of the top 8? Any other observations that you've noticed that have done really well? Because a lot of us have played a lot of these players that got up here. So what is your guys' rest of the takes on what really ran and did well?
So what I'm noticing is that the sponge-ish comps are the ones that are actually winning these events. Basically like the comps that, and we saw Pengy win Monterey yesterday with whatever that is. I call it the Moronga team. Like, but we're seeing that these like more so sponge-ish comps are the ones that are actually taking the cake in reggae.
What do you mean by that? So for someone watching this right now,
what by sponge, I mean like they are either constantly healing themselves or constantly midgetating damage while also outputting damage. So it's a battle of attrition, basically. Like they're not super concerned with going first all the time because they know that you are not going to be able to do as much damage to them as they will to you during a turn.
Yeah.
And we're seeing those type of comps pull out on top. We've seen 3 out of 4 of the top 4 have Sinistra on it because they're just the rain teams have a Ursaluna on the field and they're like, I'm just gonna, or an Archaludon on the field. I'm just gonna keep healing them and they're gonna keep putting out a bunch of damage. Like, and balance teams really struggle against that.
Yeah, like Porygon 2, we saw 1 Porygon 2 balance. You know, Justin, Lorsi, Vincenzo, and Rushel almost all had different versions of the same team, if I'm being honest. And they all got blown out by these teams that have these weird, like, singular modes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's something that I noticed. I'm also noticing here that, like, I'm curious what you guys think is that, as you were saying, these hard focus, like hard trick room, hard tailwind offense. Like we saw in Toronto and Sacramento, that like hyper offense, Electabuzz, Blood Moon, and Indeedee Sneasler. I'm looking here. I don't see a single Indeedee Sneasler. I mean, Messi, I would say your team might be the closest thing to hyper offense. But even that has this balance
of absolutely
Dragonite. Like it's not even the full hyper offense team.
It's like a
both there. But I think you're the outlier, honestly. Like you're one of those outliers there. Richie, what do you guys think they take away from this right here?
I'd kind of been watching balance drift away from like P2 Luna stuff. That was taking over the early Reg H meta. It was everywhere. Hyper indexed in team building, hyper indexed in prep. But now P2 Luna, like Kaylin Brown's about as high as it got, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the highest placing P2 Luna team.
Yep, it's the highest one.
Yeah, and rain players have been doing this since the beginning of Reg Age. We had the Elizabeth adaptation as well to the team. It's just got all the pieces you need. It can handle hyper offense. It can do the damage. And then Justin came along with his team. So
and Justin
you can sit there and set up.
I'll probably post it somewhere in the description. But I know Justin put his team on. Guys, fun surprise for all of you watching. Dylan Matthews, I'm recording with him tomorrow, and we are dropping a team report. Top 4 Dylan Matthews with the team, with the rental, with the pace. So, guys, comment Dylan in the chat if y'all want that fucking report. But it's coming, man. It's coming. But continue, Blake.
No, you're golden, brother. It is interesting to see Gambit balance not perform as well as it was earlier on, too. I feel like it's been innovated on multiple different times. It's really introduced Scarf Basque on non-rain teams to the meta. We saw a lot of online tours.
Not to interrupt you, but I would argue Gambit Balance actually had a pretty good performance after Frankfurt and Monterey. It actually was like we saw a couple do well, but not a lot. Like I was honestly like it was on my stock down. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna do that well. And even Rucho, he was saying, I was talking to him, he was actually gonna be on here, but he has some other things he has to work on. But he, for example, Dozo is one of the hardest matchups in his life. And look at what he had to play Dozo Giri 3 different times.
The nightmare tournament. No,
my God.
I know. And he said his team like literally has like almost no match if he had every turn right. But I think again, these balancy teams, like I'll even use Chup as an example. You know, it's not super balancy in a good player's hands. It doesn't make it easy, but it's possible. But I think a lot of you who are watching this at home right now, in my opinion, this is a time to be inspired, like to try new things, take more risks. Like Mezzi deciding to go with the pop bomb mouse. You know, Richie going full sand. Blake, you have where's your team right here, bro? Like you were with the combo wombo with the half and half, like the lemonade
wombo
right
combo.
here. So I think a lot of you watching home, like again, we're looking through this. There's a Lucario here too, right? Like we saw.
Oh my God,
there's a Gardevoir up too.
That like, Lucario. This was my winning into cut.
Oh no way!
Yeah, dude.
Talk about it.
Oh my God. So like I was like, oh, this is just like Talonflame sand stuff, but like the Garchomp has Sand Veil instead of rough skin, so I was like, all right, he's a little bit of Mimi stuff, so I was like, oh, okay, I do what I normally do against Sand. Game 1 was very free, like just okay, like I do this every time against Sand. Game 2 he leads Goldango and Lucario. And
he bought the Lucario.
Oh my God. Okay,
so
like well, and I was just like, I need to delete this thing. Like I don't want to. Like I saw its spread, I saw the moves it had. I was like, I need this thing to get deleted, and he played game 2 like masterfully. Like the Lucario literally fucked me up. Like the Lucario like had my number, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what if he brings this thing again game 3, I'm just gonna have to like do a YOLO turn 1 to try and like get rid of it. And then he didn't bring it game 3, and I was like, yo, I'll take this. Like he didn't bring Lucario. Like, and then I think he said after the set he thought that it wouldn't work again. Like after game 2, I was like, you couldn't be more wrong, bro. Like you should have brought it. Like.
Dude, that's crazy. And again, like this, bro, these Sinishas, man, they're popping up. Even like Tyranitar, something I saw was in day 1, Tyranitar was not a top 12 usage mon, but in day 2 it was.
So it was like the weather, like back to back. I think it was I think it's like either Ninetale, Pelipper, and then T-Tar, like all like
they were like right in a row.
Like 10, 11, 12 or something like that.
Let's pull it up right here. Let's see it.
Yeah, for day 2.
Find it somewhere. I saw the graphic and I was like, yo, that's pretty crazy here. It's got to be here somewhere. My Wi-Fi is bugging. All right, let's pull it up here. We can look at these graphics together to see what you guys think. I'm gonna add. Let's cancel. But like, guys, I'm looking at this right now, and like, I was looking for the differentiator. It's just the blood move. It's just the Guts Bear and the Tyranitar. Why do you guys also like? Let's break this down for those who are watching at home. Goldango popped clearly, but some Pokemon had fall offs. Why do you guys think we saw the trends that we did in terms of the top 12?
Well, I guess I could say that it's not a surprise that Goldango, Incineroar, and Sneasel are top 3. Like that, I think is to be expected by everyone. I will say that. I mean, I guess to be fair, in Reg H 1.0, there were some times where Goldango was not number 1.
It wasn't. We did not see Goldango high.
So I will say maybe this is a reaction to the fact that Ninetales won the first 2 regionals.
We saw Garganacl win it too.
Garganacl, Ninetales, like, and then Goldango does well against the Frankfurt team as well with proper support. So I think that people were going into this thinking like, okay, Ninetales, like people are running like these Ninetales balance teams. Like I need to be able to like pop Ninetales. So Incineroar, Goldango come to the front, right? Like that's kind of how I see it. And also, I also think that's the reason why T-Tar usage in day 2 is so high, is because like
that is insane.
If it was just like rain everywhere, obviously you wouldn't probably see as much T-Tar, but like the most dominant day 2 weather was ice or snow. So it makes a lot of sense that a lot of T-Tars were able to also creep up, because like I don't think any Ninetales wants to see a T-Tar in their life.
No.
Even for like Pelipper, sometimes like as a T-Tar player, like who uses
you brought talk to me about T-Tar, bro. You brought it. Tell me more about it.
So T-Tar, I think it just like it's a fat Pokemon. It's like gonna take a lot of like time to remove. And then I think like even against Pelipper, if you win the weather war, like not only you shut down like Pelipper's like Archaludon like Electro Shot, you just delayed it. But in Sand, Pelipper actually cannot do anything to T-Tar. You're hitting them with a weather bow rock into like in Sand, that probably do like not even 5%. And then good luck hitting your Hurricane. And I just think like T-Tar is just like really like it's just a really good Pokemon, and that can pair up with like
the stat stick that controls the weather.
And I ran T-Tar at the end of Reg H 1.0 because I still believe to this day T-Tar is the best Weathermon at countering other Weathermons.
Strong agree.
And I went into this tournament thinking like I need to make sure that whatever I bring is able to beat weather in general. So whenever someone asks me like, what weather should I be running? What weather should I be running? I'm like, run sand. Like run sand. You should run sand because it beats the other weather mods.
And Blake, what were you gonna say? You have something to say too.
Yeah, I'm like chomping at the bit for this one. I feel like the big thing that I love about Goldango and why I'm not surprised to see it so high now is people are itching for spread damage that's reliable so badly. Like these weather setter Pokemon are the ones that are running the spread moves. So if you're not building a team that's dedicated around that sort of thing, you have Blood Moon. That's the closest thing to 100% accurate spread move we have. And an interesting meta adaptation that we saw was Scarf Pelipper running Muddy Water, which you're familiar with as well.
Oh, I love that Muddy Water, but those accuracy drops, I love.
Yep. As a Dozogiri former player, I love me some Muddy Water. Muddy Water is great. But in order to get around those redirection Pokemon, the Electabuzz and the Magmar of old, we had to navigate that with those Weathermons and Reg H1.0. Now people are having to really index into Ninetales for Blizzard or now the Muddy Water on Pelly. So Goldango shines there. That's where it comes from. Yeah,
and I think that like just seeing it, like even like the percentages go up and down. Like even in Incineroar, what used to, I'm surprised 11% higher. Like if we're looking at this, like guys, I see like 1, 2, 3, like everywhere you look, especially in this middle area, they're in like again in half the teams you look past. And I think when we see this, I'm looking at this right now, it's like people are really scared of what they're really this is not screaming, but they're really scared of what they're really scared of, right? And like even Sneasler, right? Sneasler's so scary. So what did we see? We saw more Incineroar and more Goldango, right? Like these are things that we're trying to always find ways to beat. Even like again, Ninetales still improved in today too. But as you guys were saying, Mezzi had it too. It won the last 2 events. So people are going to find every single way possible to find that counter. Let's obviously Whimsicott, so that way Goldango can outspeed things like that. Those Dragonites and those Ursalumos can outspeed that. And if I'm playing right now, right, like if I'm looking into playing for Milwaukee, I'm curious what you guys think, because me personally, you have to have an answer to like all 3 weathers, like, and that looks all different. But also, if you don't know how to slow down a Goldango next to Mousehold or Goldango with redirection, you're cooked. So I'm curious what you guys like looking forward now, because I think we talk about this meta a lot. Is how can people react? I mean, my first thing is you have to expect the rise of Mousehold and Sinistra. You have to expect those rise. I think Mousehold might be on like half the teams we're seeing. But I'm curious what you guys think going into Milwaukee, going into these European tournaments like Lille, because there's going to be a lot that will be taken away from this tournament.
Well, my advice to people going to Milwaukee is don't run balance, because if you want to win the tournament, like don't run balance, because like we are seeing that the type of teams that are winning the tournaments are the type of teams that kind of have an auto win against balance, because you could just never break them. So I would say like, I mean, if balance is your comfort, then like balance is your comfort. Any strong balance team can win a tournament, like if played well. But I guess make sure that there's like you said, like people are like you said, people are desperate for spread damage. If you're running spread damage, make sure it's actually like really strong. Like these sponge teams, you're not gonna hit the mon that you want to hit. You're not going to be able to. So like if you have spread damage, make sure it's really strong. Like a choice specs spread something, or a choice band spread something, or a life orb spread something.
Yeah.
Probably at least tag one of those things on your team.
And a lot of those threats that you're trying to kill have protect. So if you're getting weaker every time you hit something, they're gonna play around that.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, Mezzi. I think like the thing about balanced team is that everyone will always have their plan into that team. I know all 3 of you showed up knowing how to play that Shohei team. I know all 3 of you showed up knowing how to play against that P2 balance team. Everyone practices against the standard teams that we're always seeing. So again, what do I notice going forward is that I'm looking at the top, going back to the top. These top 2 teams, even some of these teams I'm looking at or down here, even like your team, Mezzi, is like everyone has their little bit of spice, their little bit of innovations that people can't prepare for. I mean, if you're Matt Tid, you'll get a whole kitchen sink at that. Everything in there. But I'm just saying, like a lot of you playing is that my personal advice is that balance is hard to win with unless you're one of the best players in the world. Because people are going to have those plans against you, whereas some little wrinkle like Mezzi's pop bomb, Choppa's sash with specs, like these weird duos, like things that people are not ready for will be really valuable. I think preparing for Mouse Holtz is just good. But I'm curious, Richie, Blake, what do you guys think about like going forward? I'm curious.
I'm trying to figure out if I think Mouse Ape stonks are up or down, because frankly, I got off the self proc twice in the entire tournament.
I would say down.
Yeah,
I would say down.
With
Which
the rise of
with the rise of Mousehold itself, Mouse Ape
it's
stocks are
down. Yeah, Ape is a fantastic Defiant mon, but King Gambit also kind of struggles into that too. King Gambit's going to have to be able to navigate around those mouse holds, following away.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, Blake, come back to us. Richie, you
he's back.
Blake,
back.
keep going.
Did I get deleted? Oh no.
Oh, you're talking
Oh,
about
you're
talking
good
about
now,
Mouse
you're
Holtz
good now.
following away for the King Gambits.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can just
he's
pretend I
following
did this
you
over and
back
over
out of
again.
the frame, bro.
Yeah, I mean, between that and Sinistra too, like those priority moves are going to be important, but redirection is going to make those a little difficult to pull off.
I also wanted to put a comment in that saying that in a format like this, where it's a low power format, it kind of enables these more spongish teams to actually do better. Like I know we said like Grimstone was really good in the high power format, but in a format where no one is doing damage and you're repeatedly healing yourself, it's even better.
Yeah.
Like you know, like it's actually interesting how sponge or like screens healing that works in pretty much every format. You can make an argument that Grimstorm is really strong in a high powered format because the damage reduction multiplier actually matters, and you can make a very strong argument that Sinistra is really strong in a low powered format because how are you breaking the Archelon? How are you breaking the Bear? How are you breaking the in Matt's case, how are you breaking the Sinistra? Like you know,
yeah. I think something that I was talking to on the way home with my buddy Craig is it's about Pengy's team, specifically the Stefan Mott's team with the Garganackle. In a low power format, you have to be able to get consistent damage. And a lot of the times it's hard to see what that actually looks like. But when you have a team that focuses specifically on percentages rather than stacking multipliers, you can count your turns. You can reliably put damage on the board, and you can see the end game from the very first turns. So indexing on spongy teams like that, and if you know how much you are healing, you can watch the gap between your opponent shift mid-game a lot easier than just playing balance.
I think the perfect example of that is watching my set versus Matt did for top 8, where I was just like, dude, at a certain point he was just doing this on stream. He was doing like slurp animation on stream. And I was like, dude, I got nothing. Like, like
he could just get ahead, and then it's like when
he wasn't even doing any damage. It's just I wasn't doing. He was just healing it. Like I was just like, I don't got anything, bro. Like,
and he just knows, like, that's how much that's gonna do. I can heal past it. Who cares?
No, it's true. Like, I think a natural adaptation and progression, like two things from what you guys are saying is, I think we're gonna see teams that have a really, like, if you looked at the that one team, Hoja's team from Europe, it was dedicated to setting up that damn ape. And I think what we're gonna see now is further pushing into a hard setting up your king like an ape, like an arch, like a whatever that might be, with all the recovery tools. Or you're gonna see teams more like Mezzi's team and Choppa's team, but more Mezzi's where I think we're gonna, when you see teams like this, hyper offense gets really meticulously creative to how to beat teams like this.
Yeah.
Like it will be like that's how teams like Carson's team in Sacramento, Choppa's team, they see this middle ground, and you either really have to lean all the way in to offense or all the way to setup. So I think this tournament showed us that we're in that like balance plus kind of phase.
Yeah.
And now what in the natural progression, what beats balance plus? Really hyper offense or really aggressive, slow, those not even sponges, like rocks.
Yeah. Garganackles, right?
That's a boulder. That's Minecraft Donkey Kong, baby.
I'm sure Stefan Mott probably wouldn't have mind playing against
he probably would. Give me back.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm looking at this. Like, what are your thoughts about going forward in this matter? Like,
I think like you guys all mentioned about like the importance of having like a support Pokemon with like follow me. So like what I'm thinking about is like, all right, if you're having like trouble like fighting, let's say like Ursaluna in Scream, so or like other like Urchaludon in Rain.
Yeah.
I think one of the really important thing is like, all right, then how do I remove all their support Pokemon before their big, like the president, like the big damage start like going crazy? Like for example, like a lot of time, like Charlton. No physical attacker wants to touch like a Charlton unless you're like doing like one shot damage to it. But like I think the important thing is like, all right, if there's like a mouse, if there's like a follow me Pokemon, how do you remove it in like turn 1 and then like immediately so it doesn't stay on the field for too long?
Mouse hold's gonna be calced for, and everyone's calculating for.
Yeah, exactly. So like maybe
everyone's
maybe something like super quick, like a really strong like
Specs Maker Ring. I see that coming back.
Yeah. I actually see that coming back.
Yep, absolutely. Especially after this tour. I mean, you got to deal with Mousehold cutting you down to 50% again with the incrementals. Like you might have to deal in doubles and halves. Like for all of your damage.
It's true. And the last kind of thing I wanted is first of all, before we go into my last thing I want to talk about with you guys, are there any other teams or trends that you really want to talk about?
I want to mention about one Pokemon particularly in day 2, and then apparently that Pokemon like screw up a lot of people's like day 2 playing, or like a lot of my friends like they face him, they were like, I have no matchup to it.
What is it?
There is a Mental Herb Bronzong. And
I think that might have been the highest placing Marco Sun team, I believe.
Where do you guys see that? Let me know.
Mental Herb.
Oh, right here, Edward Glover.
Yeah. So I think
what the hell is that?
This was actually taken. So like it's like story time. I believe it was Sacramento. His name. He's one of our locals. John Durant. He took Marco's son and he replaced P2 with Mental Herb Bronzong.
Yeah.
And he put Blast Burn on Charizard because he was asking me like what 4th move he should put on it, and I jokingly, it was like half jokingly, dude, I run Giga Impact. I wasn't actually joking. It was like me saying like Blast Burn, like like no one's ran their Blast Burn counts, and he actually changed it, and then he came up to me later in the tournament. I was like, dude, I've like one hit KO'd like 3 Incineroars with Blast Burn, like stuff like that. So it's like this is like straight up 6 from John Durant's Sacramento team. I don't remember if he got day 2, but he had a lot of fun with this version of the team.
This guy cooked.
This version of the team beats the other ones. So.
Yeah, can we look into like his like matchup like history?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I know he faced he eliminated my friend in like for like his winning in, and then he also beat Stephen
He
Mayer.
only lost the hard trick room.
Yeah.
No.
And then
wow.
And then Raja. He only lost the hard trick room.
That's actually really impressive, especially with the fact he played sand.
Yeah, so I was looking at the sand. Yeah, I was looking at the sand.
He beat every weather team he played.
Yeah, I was looking at the sand. I was like, how do you take like I was like for example, I'm looking at like Stephen May's team. How do you remove that? Like the only like I'm assuming like Flare Blitz in like from Talonflame's not gonna do too much damage to a Bronzong, and Ursaluna can only hit like normal move against it, and the rest cannot touch it, and then they just kind of set up. It's kind of really annoying to like remove if you like hit like the particular matchup you wanted to hit.
He literally only lost to Sun, but beat every other weather, which is crazy.
I would say it's arguable that he lost to Sun because like the hard trick room I think is the more of the mode that he lost to the first game.
yeah.
But Rajan straight up usually lost to Sun.
Yeah. Yeah. This is again, wow. This has been a really crazy run. Again, beat some good players, beat a lot of different kinds of, but only lost.
He played like 7 entities. Like
that's where all the Indeedee sneezers went. It was
they're like so many entities on his run.
Oh my god.
He literally played like 7 entities.
Wow. 7. That's insane.
Oh man.
Wow.
I'm surprised I guess I don't know how much experience Will has with Wheezing Toads. I've played it all leading up to this event. That's been my team up until last week. And I had no problems with Marco Sun. I wonder if it was the Bronzong. Who knows?
Yeah,
that's weird.
You never know, man. I mean, I'm looking at that, but that's a great call out, Richie. I think again that team kind of slid by my eyes. The run makes it even more interesting to look at. And lastly, speaking of runs, before we kind of wrap up, I want to keep maybe like 10, 15 more minutes here. Tell me about. I want this to be more about our advice, right? Because I think all of you had different levels of success. I know Messi's had some. I was there for Messi's breakout run in Portland a couple of years ago. That was amazing. I know, Richie, this is your first day 2 at a regional, but not a event. It's your second day 2, but first at a regional. Blake, this is your second, you said?
Yep, second time.
So you just done it once, and you've done it again. You guys have had really good runs. Like Messi's got really deep runs as well. I want to, we're getting some one at a time. Mezzi, you can go first. That's kind of been like the way the cycle's been going here. Is tell me more about what it's like to get to where you want to go. How did you go from a Super Smash Bros. Player to now, going on the stage, beating the best players in the world, using what you love, and finding that growth? Because at the end of the day, I want this place to be one where aspiring players can come and be like, yo, that I never would have even thought of that. What are some of those things that's really transformed your Pokemon experience?
Because I will say like what has really helped me navigate moving into Pokemon, because again, I used to play competitive Super Smash Brothers. Has really been finding what type of play style is native to the way that I think about video games.
Yes.
Like the way that I play Pokemon is the way that I would play Super Smash Brothers. And I think that competitive gaming in general is like a different type of art for everyone. I think finding your niche is very important. Like finding that specific type of play style that like is kind of like it speaks to you like on like a natural level, like you just understand this type of language naturally is the most important first step. And
what you were saying resonates with me so well, because I literally have a video where I have this massive whiteboard. Let me see. Let me find it for you, and you're gonna love this, man. Because in my day 2 collective where I help players really grow, my whole thing is how to find your VGC strategy, how to literally find your play style. And I go through this with all my players in my coaching group, and literally the goal, exactly what we're saying, is you have to find what speaks to you to get to that next level. And if you're watching this video right now, after this is over, if you don't know your true play style, watch this video. I will help you get there. But Menzi, continue. But I had to show this because this is exactly what you're talking about right now.
No, I'm glad that you have a video that the people can so easily pivot to after this. Like it is so important to like have that play style that speaks to you naturally, because in a tense scenario, you want to be able to speak your language better than your opponent. And you don't want to be trying to speak a language that you're not fluent in.
Exactly.
Like if you want to be able to beat your opponent to the punch, you better be speaking a language that you're fluent in. So I spent a lot of time in Pokemon with a bunch of different archetypes trying to see if it was really, because I had a good breakout year, used the similar type of
hyper offense. You like to go.
Yeah, and just like go. And I spent a couple months trying to lab out some other archetypes. I realized like, hey, this is just like Smash. It's not any different. Like you have your archetype, you have your language, your fluency, your language that you're fluent in. Stick with that. Find that and stick with it and build on that, because every archetype has seen success in this game.
Yes,
so why can't you?
Hard Trick Room, Tailwind, slow screens, balance. Like we've seen everything work. And what I always say, Messi, you're completely right, is like, imagine you have to play 10 different instruments versus the guy who's been playing guitar for 10 years.
Exactly. Who's
going to be the better musician? So play damn guitar. Like it's so true on what you're saying, because just like you, like I had no one to guide me, and I tried all these. I'm the opposite of you, man. I tried Sun Murkrow once, and it was the worst regional of my life. When I go with my Grimmsnarl and my screens and my slow sponge redirection style stuff, I made 2 top 8s. Done 4 out of 5 days. It works. And if you're watching this, I'm actually, guys, put in the comments what your strategy is right now in the chat. I'm actually curious. If you're watching this right now, comment your strategy in the chat, or comment if you don't have one yet. I'm actually curious. But Mezzi, tell me more. Is that the main one that comes to your mind?
I mean, and the second thing about Pokemon is finding a group, honestly. Finding a group of people that is relatively around the same skill as you. That's important in just any competitive outlet, is always trying to practice with people that are only slightly better or slightly not as good as you, because you're able to digest what they're doing, ask the right type of questions, and learn at a rate that is like understandable to you. So you not many people just start playing the game and they're amazing at it, So find a group, like 1-2 people 3, like just find a group and practice with each other and talk about the game and like that, those small incremental improvements between each other will
It makes a difference.
Yeah, and
A
they
huge
could
difference.
find you as like we have Dylan Yu and his building group and Joey Woodring, where they're just practicing with each other and suddenly they're in finals of Atlanta and like they're playing the same team in Atlanta and they're in finals. You need to find that group of people that like you're able to like challenge each other slowly, and before you know it, like you guys are
dominating. It's crazy. Right? I always tell everyone that there's 2 really ways to go about this, in my opinion. I'm curious what you guys think. But one is your local scene. You have as long as you're not living in like Greenland, you probably have someone around you that will play. Right? Probably. Like even people in like Arkansas, I know there are some people. I know it's harder. So one is I would take it into your local scene. 2 is finding an online community, whether it's a creators community, whether it's like a local or a USPA or some kind of thing where you can just find other people. My advice is that try to find a friend group, try to find a community. Again, that's why I started my own Day 2 collective to help like all the players I help. It's from Germany to Hawaii, all of these players, all different age ranges, all different backgrounds. But the point is that it's hard to get better by yourself. I learned that the hard way. I'm busy. Sounds like you learned that as well. But once you find that core, it's like if you want to go fast and try to figure it out, you can go by yourself. But it's so true. If you want to go far over a longer period of time and also have love for the game, because you can't get better if you're alone and you feel negative and you're feeling burnt out. But when you have people alongside you, it makes the world of difference. So I appreciate that sentiment because it's so true.
Yeah, that and like you said, that community support is so important in improving because that social motivation to get better with your friends.
You gotta be your boys, right? You gotta be
it's like it's super important,
Absolutely. And I'm looking in the chat right now. See, we see Mirage, also a hyper offense player. We got Unknown Jay, also hyper offense.
Let's go.
We got a Trick Room Boy, Dragon JT. So we got some people telling us to try. Guys, where's the screens love at, man? Again for Richie. Where's the
Not everybody speaks Grimmsnarl, man.
It's actually really funny because it's funny how you say you're the opposite of me, Darsh, because like the second most archetype I've spent the most time with is like screens.
Hey, there we go.
But it's funny because I never do well with it. I just have like a guilty pleasure to build it, but I never do well with it.
Yeah. It's like you can't help what you're good with. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have loved to be a hyper offensive player. If I've ever bought a Prankster Tailwind user, I've never made Day 2. I bring that freaking Grimmsnarl and somehow I teleport into it. I don't know.
No, dude. I think every single event I've brought Prankster Tail into, every single regional I brought Prankster Tail into, I've Day 2'd or better.
Yeah, we're opposites, bro.
Yeah, like it's actually insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Blake, tell me, you've made Day 2 twice now. How does it feel? What have you learned? And like, tell me like what it's like to like start to feel like you have momentum now, because you've done it once and you might think, oh my God, it was a fluke. You just did it again, bro. So first of all, congrats. Awesome job.
Thank you, man.
Or like, what have you learned throughout this journey? And like, how can someone else who's like right there get over that hump?
I mean, it's not very well known because it's taken me this long to get to. I've been playing like as a Showdown Warrior since 2016.
There you go.
I didn't even go to my first event until 2019.
Wow.
So it took me a very, very long time to get to where I am. And it was all about what Mazzy was saying. Like, you got to find what speaks to you. The language metaphor is just way too good, by the way. Like, that is a very good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I've tried screens. Grimmsnarl and T-Tar and I, we were best friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But we did not get results together. It didn't work. I had to find my thing, which is also hyper offense, more like anti-meta calls. That was what I liked. But that required me to stay on the meta and really be in the know, which leads to community, which is my absolute favorite part about this game.
Yeah.
It's what I do everything around. You know this. I'm all about it. I love the community. Indiana, where I'm from, we're all super duper close. And watching us grow together has been crazy. You might be familiar with Aaron Clemens, the person who Justin Tang beat. He and I went to our first local together, and to watch him just skyrocket like right away, I was like blown away. I'm like, I have a rival.
I want to be just like, I want to do that.
It's crazy. And then now,
spam, bro, we did it with Size Spam too. Bro.
With Size Spam, we call him Grandfather Tail Room because he's always playing Size Spam with both. It's so good. We rode to Day 2 together for this regional too, and just watching both of us grow and to be able to finally catch up to Aaron. I'm like, yes, this feels so good. I can understand it now. And now we just want to keep giving back to our community. We want everyone to have the resources and the knowledge and to learn more about how they speak to their Pokemon and their play styles. It's that the second big thing for me is learning. Like, you have to have that love of the game and want to learn more. I always want to learn other stuff. And maybe that's not learning a new archetype. It's learning how things function, how I can better improve as a player, just always being ready to be humbled and to learn a lesson.
The best way to learn is when you get your ass kicked.
Yes.
What I always say is, like, you win or you learn.
Yeah.
You know, so many people I know have a hard time when they're losing. People, like, the reason why I'm very anti-showdown slamming is because it's really hard on your mental sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, not every player, like, everyone expects it just because everyone in the Pokemon community has probably been amazing at games their whole life. I'm a natural at video games. I've always been good at it, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The game is a really easy way of telling you you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
But a lot of
Absolutely.
it either goes one of two ways, right? You either can learn from it and get better at different things, or you can have a hard time and you can burn yourself out. What I think what you're saying is so true is that everything is truly about what you can take away. You know what I mean? And a lot of that does not come from playing. I did an interview with Fetty Campo after we won NAIC, and he was like, I spend when I grew the most, I spent more time watching good players play than playing myself.
Yes.
And I think
I did.
Like, how much can you learn? Just always spamming, especially when you're in that negative state. It's not going to work.
I know. I've learned that lesson way too many times. I would try to keep up with the people that slam Showdown, and it burnt me out so bad. Don't look at my Ben build. That's a terrible idea. You can see what happens when you try to spam Showdown. My results were not good. I was not happy with them. So I decided I need to improve, and I have to humble myself and let it go with the flow and learn from that.
Yeah. You've done that, bro. And I want to, again, give you credit, bro. 2016, bro. And, like, dude, my thing to you is, like, dude, your uptick, just like Richie, who I want to go to next, bro, it's hitting right now. And I think the good thing about it is when you also have that community, I want to hit on this as well. The same way Blake looked at Aaron Clemens, watched him, that he can do that too. Someone in Indy's now looking at Blake saying, I can do that too, right?
Yep.
Even Richie and Mezzi, we're all from this New Jersey scene. We've seen so many players from our area do well, whether it's James Evans or Paul Chua, Shiliang Tang. And now I'm looking at 8 or 9 players from New Jersey just had over like 10% of day 2 in Pittsburgh, which is insane.
Funny fact.
William Brown, I believe, is like number 3 in CP right now.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
He was, top 8.
Breakout player.
Top 8 at Monterey too. Yeah.
I was counting the day 2 people. So from Pittsburgh. So there's 207 people who day 2. You know how many from tri-state area?
How many?
50.
Not 50, but it's like 22 to 25.
Oh, so like
that's a quarter of day 2.
Yeah.
From this little bubble. And it shows you that, again, iron sharpens iron. And, like, Richie, I'm sure you can speak to it, but tell me, what about you? This is your first regional day 2, bro. Your first one. How? Tell me what was different. And you went 0-2, which is back against the wall. I'm sure every bad hacks you got felt like double as heavy. Every bad turn twice as hard. Tell me about that, bro.
I think I'm still like kind of new, and I'm still like trying to get better at the game too.
Yeah.
I started playing in like 2024, and then like last year was like my full season. The year before was like my full season, and then and then I'm still trying to like learn, like get better at it. But I feel like you guys already mentioned, like, one of the most important things is like about the community. It's about like people you like practice.
Find your community. If there's anything you're taking away from this, find your people, guys. Whether it's like online, whether it's in person. Again, just for you guys you guys all know this who are here, but my day 2 collective, we did 5 weeks. My new one opens on Wednesday. The last one, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but it's sold out in 16 hours.
Nice.
15 spots. Because people need people to grow. And I'm not saying you have to join my thing. Again, if you want to, let me know. I'll put the wait list in the chat. We're at 45 on the wait list. But more than that is go to your local areas. It takes – I will make a video after this on how to do that. If you guys want it, put it in the comments, because you got to just show up and everyone is just like you. Like literally, Pokemon is one of the most welcoming places, because at the end of the day, I don't care if you're 45, 18, whatever background you're from, you have this one commonality that makes you travel the world to play this game. People will talk to you. Like, I used to perform by myself. And just by saying hi, hello, whatever. I have the best. I have all you guys.
Yeah.
That I talk to all the time. And I've worked with Blake. I've played the GC with Mezzi. I travel with Richie. And this is all because this is a welcoming space. So Richie, keep going about that.
Yeah, so like the community is definitely really important, and just like you guys say, like the community is super nice. So like even like after the set in the regional, like I talk to like majority of my opponent, whether win or lose, I talk to them, and we like talk about like gameplay. We say, oh, what happened exactly? Like for example, like yesterday I was talking to Toller after he cooked me with Flamingo, and I was like, dude, I didn't know Flamingo hit super effect, like one shot, like 5 out of my 6 Pokemon. I didn't prep into that, but yeah, so. But yeah, first of all, it's like the community just like super nice and welcoming. So just if you have like just like reach out and run like chats with people. And the other thing I would say is like if you want to get like a decent result, like if you like knowing what your expectation going to a regional or going to an event, if you go there to have fun, then that's like a different story. But if you're there, it's like, all right, I want to do well. Then I think one of the things is like you have to do your homework. So what's the homework? It's like what are like the famous like the match, what's the famous archetypes, like what's the famous team, like what is my line into like at least like the common one, like Dondozo, Rain.
Just having general plans. Like you can't come up with something random. And it's like, again, I'm going to go back, Richie, off of you onto the community. Learning all of this stuff by yourself is hard.
Very hard.
It's very hard. You have to individually find teams, individually make plans. You have to go on the showdown and hope you queue into the team you want to play against.
Yeah.
That can take hours. And
so time consuming.
Yeah.
Zach down in the comments here, he's one of my locals, and he knows we write like crazy in Indiana. We share all of our resources. It helps even too for your own prep purposes. The night before the tournament, I was like, I have some thoughts on my team. I wrote 12 pages the night before, and it really cleared my mind. All my matchups were so like in here that it didn't matter how many games I played. I knew my team front to back.
Yeah, I think that's like also like one of the most important things Blake mentioned. It's like you have to know your team like really well, and then it's not like, for example, if I bring my team and then let's say I want like advice and stuff, and I go out to like Messi, like Josh or Blake, and I should be like giving to you, and then I should be the master of this team first before asking for like comments and stuff, because like everybody will provide like different comments, like whether it's like terror change, like different play style and stuff. But you should be like, as a player, you should able to like absorb like criticism and comments from like your fellow friends and be like, oh, you misplayed there, and you should be like, okay, yeah, then I'll do better next time, instead of like no, that's not going to work and stuff. Like, and then for example, like save your replays and going back and share with like your fellow and be like, oh, what did I do wrong? What can I do better and stuff. I always feel like it's more important to look at the replays that you lose versus the replay you won, because I feel like sometimes you look at like your win, you're just like each kind of just like, for me, like sometimes like an ego boost. It's like, oh yeah, look how hard I cook this opponent and stuff. But I think it's like it's like there's a lot of value looking into like games you lose. Then you really will figure out like, oh crap, they just outlet me. Oh crap, like I misplayed this game and I just threw the game and stuff.
Be ready to learn. So wait, we're gonna say, Blake, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, always be ready to learn.
Yeah, it's true. Look, I'm going to show you guys the Mondo whiteboard here right now. And I'm really going to show it to you guys, for all of you guys who are watching on stream here, is that, let me click on that to focus on that here. But I literally show, now when you guys are practicing, I'm going to get my head in here somewhere. When you guys are practicing, you have your team, right? And it feels like you. But there's, in my opinion, there's so many ways, but especially if you have friends to do things with, to where you guys can, everything you guys are talking about, right? Intentional practice, having PSRS, however you guys pronounce it. It's a valuable tool to store your replays. But after that, once you know, I put matchups into a box here, right? But after you know your bad matchups and your good matchups, having friends to consult while you're practicing, like if I always lose to Mezzi's team, what am I going to do? I'm not going to play against myself. That's impossible. That's hard to do. We're going to showdown. I have to find my community and lean on them to play them until I find my friend and play until I understand it, right? And I think a lot of these things that, Richie, you're saying are so true, because you need help with a calc, go to a friend. You need help with a matchup, go to a friend. You don't know something, it's just so important. And I completely agree with what you're saying. But yeah, guys, like everything that they are saying is so true, because it's everything that I preach, is that you have to have a community so you can learn faster. And exactly what Mezzi, what you were saying, once you know your strategy, you can build your team. Once you have your team, you can have intentional practice. And then once you have intentional practice and you play with friends, you will not just get better, you will learn and grow faster because of those people. You won't even realize it happening. Like for me, I told you guys, like I quit the game for a year. My first tournament back, I made top 8 and I beat Wolf. Like that was insane. I don't say it as like anyone can do it, but truly I believe if you find people and you're committed to your growth and your progress, you genuinely can do it. We see all 3 of you guys sitting right here. When's the last tournament you guys went to? I'm sure it was months ago, right? Because of the whole office.
Like Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh no, I was at NASB. Yeah.
Oh, true. That's right.
Yeah.
And what that
It felt like forever ago. Yeah, it was like, like.
And look at you now. You went 8-0.
Yeah.
Rich, you went 0-2 to 8-2. Blake, you got top 32, top 64 to 32, top 32, right?
Top 32, yeah.
Yeah, like guys, the point of this is all of these things that they're noticing. Just look at the trends of what they're saying. Find your strategy, find your community, and all that leads to is you finding your growth. And I truly believe what you're saying. But yeah, I just had to show the whiteboard. So I really was just talking about that too. But
Growth Street in the background. Look at that.
Yep, there it goes.
We're on growth. So we're growing together, man. We're growing together.
Yep.
But I truly like. I love what you guys are saying, man. And like, I think if anyone's watching, I see Marco saying he likes Volcarona King Game of Balance. You know, whatever people are doing right now is like the best way to learn is by learning from other people who did it. And I think you guys did a great job of talking about your teams, what's spoken to. I'm sure now at your next regional, there's going to be an element like of what you just did well with this time at your next event or at your local tournaments because it just worked.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very surprised if people did not copy my team. I've already gotten dozens of messages of people being like, "How do I do this?" But that's the best part about the teams that I make is that they're not straightforward in terms of like how to do well with them. So I don't care if people try and take it and do well with it because I'm going to use this at my next regional. But I don't know that anyone will emulate the same type of success that I did with this.
But it's you,
like you said. My team was an outlier in there. Like there's nothing else like it, like in the top 16. So
it's like, how do I beat Choppa's team? All right, who do you lose to? Okay, let's learn it. Like
exactly, and it's like there's a reason that it was only me. Like it's not just the team. Like
agreed. But yeah, guys, again, any last word? I know I want to respect your guys' time, everyone who's watching here as well. Anything else that you guys want to talk about when it comes to the tournament, when it comes to advice? Because again, you guys have been dropping so much bombs of value here. I really do appreciate you guys for coming on. And again, like you guys deserve all the plaudits. You guys had a great tournament out of almost 1,000 people. You guys should be proud of yourself for sure.
I mean, I just really want to send home the idea of like finding the analogy that I made about speaking teams like a language that you can be fluent as, because I really do think that when it comes to competitive anything, like it's always like some kind of art or language, something that you can be fluent at just like anything else.
Really, yeah.
So I think when it comes to growth, kind of like trying to hone in on what Darsh was trying to say, like the way to grow faster is to grow in a way that makes the most intuitive sense to your brain.
Absolutely.
So find that archetype that is your language and stick on that track. Like Matt Tidd is a great example of that. Like you are never gonna see people like hard jumping onto this, but he's been using this concept since the beginning of Reg Age 1.
I've seen him use teams like Flow, bro. I've seen him use all this kind of stuff.
And he has perfected his craft, and like this is a beautiful example as to why you just have to find the language that you speak and just keep pressing with it.
Yeah, great point, Mezzy. 100% agree with you, bro. 100%.
Yep. Learn your language, learn your people, learn yourself. Just always be ready to take it all in. So even if it's that one archetype that you play forever and ever, and you're like, man, I wish I could learn something else, use that archetype to learn the other teams. See how that matchup matters, because the matchups are extremely important across the board, just like any other video game, just like how it is in Smash. You have to know how your thing interacts with other people's thing. We're all speaking different languages, but it can come together as one big community.
Completely agree. I mean, we see it all the time. I've seen players like Luke Bauer, better known as Jin Fury. He uses hard trickery at every event. Monterey got 9th place with the team that Tom Hayden used to get top 32. So it really is like sticking to your guns. Also, you should have an open mind to like expand on your ideas, and that will come with time. But I truly believe that in that one wholeheartedly.
Be patient with yourself too. I mean, like I said, I've been playing for close to 10 years, and I'm just now getting my results. it was tough. But now, like, I'm all smiles even when I'm losing. I'm having a great time. I got the love of the game, baby.
Yeah.
Ofemezi just destroyed me. I flashbang, and I was like, oh. But I saw the light. The rest of the tournament, I locked back in, and I took it home. So
100%, bro. Yeah, that's a great point. Richie, I saw you got something to say too, brother.
Yeah, I think like it's also like exactly like you guys say. I think it's just like always down to like trying out new things too. Like for example, like let's say like for Blake, your next regional is in like 2 weeks or something like that. Then probably probably you don't have like that much time to be like, all right, let me try like hot trick room and stuff. But like for me and like Mezzy, I know Mezzy's sticking to your team, the same team. But for me, I still have my next regional is nearly in 2 months. It's like within like 2 months. So I want to like try like, all right, let's see what like the other team that's doing success. But that also fit like my play style. I want to like give this a try and see if I like it or not. If I don't vibe with it, that's fine. At least I try and then
I mean, like the good thing about your strategies are it doesn't have to be the same Pokemon or the same ideas. It can be, these two things. I call it finding your Ruby, right? If you look at a team, I'll use an example. Let's pull up like Mezzy's team here. If Mezzy had to box all of the things about this team into boxes, right? Meaning really good or like good, bad, relatively, obviously, and then fun or not fun. Mezzy will have some duo in here will be his favorite, like in terms of how it produced and the most fun. That is the Ruby of his team, right? Like for example, if Dragonite and Mousehold was the most fun thing he used, but it was bad, that'd go into the bad and fun category. But if Bascu, Legion, Goldango was the duo that he felt was both fun and good, that's the Ruby of his team. And what he can now do is look at this duo and say, well, what made it good? What made it fun? And that can now be replicated, those elements, when you're looking into other teams and other ideas. And I think that's a really good point, because I think what I call it finding your Ruby when I talk to people who I work with is any team you have. I don't care if you are 2-6. Every team has its little stardust in it that was able to win you games and do well. And if you can find like Richie in your team, where you don't have to use Santitar, but something about the best part of that team is your style that you can move forward with. So I agree with you on that, bro.
For sure.
But yeah, guys, again, I want to say thank you. Congrats to all three for absolutely crushing the tournament. Again, the chat's been loving you guys. I think this has been great. I mean, as someone who did not make day 2, and I've been making a couple in the past year, I'm really proud of you guys. It's inspiring to me and myself, and I'm coming to catch you guys in Vegas.
Yeah,
I'll
be waiting.
Get on, bro.
Yeah, I'll probably see you at the next local, honestly.
Yeah, you probably will. But thank you guys so much, guys. Let me know in the comments in the chat what you guys think. But I appreciate you guys. And let me know, guys. Let me know if you guys want more from them. I will see you guys later. It's been Dark Type Darsh. Sebastian asked me my next regional. It's going to be in Vegas. I'll see you guys later. Bye.